Today we're gonna breaking down the the science of the chakras. No, today we're gonna be breaking down some of the mysteries I've learned about chakras through my time dealing with them, directly interfacing with my own chakras and my own study about chakras and spirituality. I think it was Helena Blavatsky that kind of popular. Think it was Helena Blavatsky that popularized the concept of a chakra system. And the most popular system that we know of is seven. And they are the root, going to your sacral, your solar, the heart, throat, third eye, and your crown chakra. In this video, through my learnings with different teachers along the way and the different books that I have read on chakras and my own personal dealings with them, my own personal experiences that I've had with my own chakras has given me a lot of insight to dispel some of the illusions that we know about chakras. I'm going to teach some of the ways I have healed, some of the ways I have balanced and transformed myself with the new methods that I have learned from different teachers and also through channelings that I've done. And another reason why I started this video, I think it's time to change the conversation that we're having about chakras and stop seeing it from an old point of view. Because if you're doing things the old way, more than likely you're going to get an old result. So I know that it is time to transform out of the old paradigm of spirituality and start to deal with new kinds of methods so we can actually transform. We all know the popular colors for chakras: red for the root, orange for the sacral, yellow for the solar plexus, green for the heart, blue for the throat, and the third eye is like an indigo, and then purple for the crown. Try to put chakra colors on the back of your mind. Chakra colors to me are a bit reductionist. They oversimplify what your chakras can actually do for you. And if you only focus on dealing with one color, then you might only get one result. Because I've heard people say the root chakra could be brown or root chakra could be black, which could be true. Sometimes your chakras need a different form of healing and it comes in different colors. I personally don't see red as my root chakra all the time. I don't see none of my chakras as the common colors. Now, when I go into my channels and I have to see which color would help balance that out. Sometimes it's the chakra color that has been assigned to it. Sometimes it's a different color. You need many different colors for many different needs. I will put some of the different color healing up on the screen that can give you a certain amount of healing. I know that, like, for example, green is the color of relaxation and growth and helping you ease out stress. Chakras shouldn't be viewed as these vortexes anymore. Chakras should not be viewed as these holes or these spinning wheels in front of the body. Instead, try viewing your chakras as bands around you, like a hula hoop. Have I heard that if you view them as a vortex, does it mean like you're more vulnerable because it's almost like a hole in front of you? I'm not sure. I'm just going to leave that in the video just in case because I think I heard that from somewhere, but I'm not sure the validity of that. But I will also say that when I viewed it as chakra bands for me personally, it helped me it helped me heal it better because then I could see, like, I could almost see the stagnancy in certain chakras. I could see the bits of like debris, I like to call it, because sometimes it's like little shards of black glass. You could see how slow a chakra is running, if it's running at all. For me, once I started seeing them as bands, it was easier to control, it was easier to heal and balance. And I think I read that in a book by Stuart Swerdlow. A whole section of that book is dedicated to chakra balancing. Another reason why I'm viewing them as a band instead of as a vortex is because now you get to switch the power dynamic. I believe that you have less control when you view them as a vortex versus when you view them as a band. It's almost like a level of protection. It's what makes up our aura. Your chakras is basically your aura. That's why when people see it, they can see primary chakras that are dominant in your aura versus ones that may not be. The common misconception about chakras is that it is open or closed. And that kind of ties back into the vortex. Your chakras are never open or closed. They're either balanced or unbalanced, overstimulated or understimulated. It is never something that you can open and close like a door. Your chakras are always open, and the key is to keep them in balance. And the key to balancing your chakras is going back to the hula hoop. What colors do you need to add? What illusions do you need to bring up and face and ultimately let go of to bring the chakras into balance? I know we all say that healing isn't linear, and that's very true for our chakras. You could go through so many different healing points through your chakras and think that you're done, but really there might be a layer underneath that. Or sometimes you just don't know how to let go of old wounds and some things never really get dealt with. So you have to keep revisiting old cycles and old patterns to truly let them go. You are ultimately in control of your chakras. Your chakras are not in control of you. You have to dig through some of those chakras to uncover those illusionary thoughts. The reason I brought this up because you'll hear you in control of your energy, or what's the one that I can't stand? Protect your energy. I believe it's the other way around. Your energy should be protecting you. Your only job in these human meat suits is to get rid of all the conditioning that will prevent your energy from protecting you. If you watch the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once, the husband, he said what seems like on the surface is me just joking around, but it's actually my weapon to maneuver through this reality. I use humor, I use lightness, I use silliness and goofiness to help move myself along. This is my weapon. We don't see optimism, joy as weapons because it seems and feels silly. But what if that was your protection? What if that was what you were sent here to do, to be the lightheartedness and not it? Everybody can't be the warrior. Everybody can't be the dark feminine. Everybody can't be that. Those are beautiful energies to be up under. But if you switch the narrative to you trying to protect your energy, switch it around to let me let my energy protect me. Get into the mindset that you are in control of your chakras. Your thoughts is what's making your chakras become balanced or unbalanced, overstimulated or understimulated. And it is your job to make sure those chakras come back into balance because you're in control of them. Another trick that I've learned is that you can communicate with your chakras. We have done this ancient science and we've done this through mythology where we've personified certain energies inside of us. Zeus, Persephone, Aphrodite, Ares, Hades, Poseidon. Those are all energies and potentialities of the human condition. What our ancestors did before us was personify these energies that we have within inside of us all. The way you can interface with these energies that are inside of you is if you give it a name. Aphrodite represents like sexual love, lust, beauty. I can activate those energies within me by giving it a name, giving it a body, basically giving it something to talk to, something for the mind to understand. Because if we leave it as some undefined blob of energy, that's hard to interface with, that's hard to connect with because your imagination can't really understand the concept of talking to pure energy, so to speak. So for the human mind to understand what it's capable of, we created the gods. We created the mythology of the gods. Same thing with their chakras. You can personify it. You can ask your chakras to show you what it needs. And inevitably, at least in my case for me, because when I channel. I can see things and I can hear. So for you, it might be something different. Once you start communicating with your chakras, you can ask it, what colors do you need? Is there any exercises that I need to do? Is there a book that I need to read to further understand? Is there someone I need to talk to? Is there a hurt here? Anything that you want to ask your chakras, I advise you to ask. A shortcut that you could take, I don't know if it's a shortcut, but you can bypass the lower triad. You can bypass, so to speak, by just dealing with the heart chakra, because the heart is the gateway between the upper triad and the lower triad. And if you deal with a lot of things that is in your heart, like grief, fear, a lot of it could get stored in the heart. But once I started dealing with the heart, it was like letting go of bigger issues so the other ones could balance themselves, as that, so to speak. But when I started dealing with heart chakra stuff, I started dealing with like really deep-seated fears. And for me personally, I believe that that warrior spirit actually kind of lies within the heart, having your empathy used against you so you can keep fighting wars that really don't belong to you. I believe that's a heart chakra deficiency that I had. And it helped me uncover the fears that I had in my lower chakra. What happens if my survival isn't taken care of? I was becoming pretty ungrounded because sometimes you have thoughts of, I want to help save the world. I want to help wake up other people. I want to help rise the consciousness of the world. But then that brings up fears of, like, for me, it was being seen on camera, sharing these ideas, sharing myself. And it all helped me ultimately release some of the gunk that was in the lower chakras. Okay, so this one is one of my most favorite ones because I dealt with this one directly. So a lot of times what they'll say is envision a white light flowing from the top of your head down to your body. For me, that fucked me up. I will never suggest anybody to envision that the pure white light coming down or rainbow light. Rainbow light will fuck me up every time. I would get a headache. I don't know if I just wasn't ready to deal with whatever was coming up, but I would get these messed up headaches from flooding my chakra system with those lights. I actually do not advise you trying to heal all chakras at one time. Take it a little bit at a time. Put your hand over your heart and ask what chakra needs to be dealt with immediately. Where am I most deficient in? Because remember, it's all a system. So if you deal with some of the bigger problems, you'll help ease off some of the other problems in your chakra system. If you're flooding yourself with those lights, it's trying to handle too many problems at once. I think it's trying to bring up too much at once. It's just too much energy, at least for me. It was too much energy for my body to handle. I can do that prescribed antidote, and I see it a lot. And if you did do that and you wonder, well, why isn't it helping me, maybe try dissecting a little bit. Work on the chakra that might have the biggest issue for you and start working with that, and play around with other chakras too. Okay, so if you ask what's the first one that's very deficient or that needs the most help, then ask, okay, what's the second one that I can work on? That's what helped me. The chakra flooding with the light never really helped. I do not suggest that. Also, don't be afraid to, I think I said that, don't be afraid to mix the colors too. Say you have a crown chakra deficiency, but your crown chakra says, I need brown. Put that in there. It's like a little sprinkling. It's like a recipe, you know? Or you might need brown and purple. A lot of times I need blue and green, or blue, green, and purple. Or sometimes I might need a white light to help move things out, to clear things out. Put blue, purple, and green back in there. Maybe even sometimes yellow. Yeah, think of it as like little recipes. Don't get stuck on one color, what you think you read in a book. It's also not just 7 chakras in your body. It's actually thousands. I know around the pineal gland, you have 72 chakras alone. In your hand, there are probably thousands of chakras. Avoid getting caught up in the 7 band chakras, because that's at a very rudimentary level. If you are at the beginning stages, then learn that, practice that. But once you start to evolve more, you start to see there's so many chakras, there's so many little points of energy on your body. I never took like the prescribed advice from working from the bottom up. I work on whatever needs my attention at the time. But if you also view it as a system, what you'll start to see is, I think I mentioned this before, is if I'm working on my solar plexus, I know my sacral is right behind it for some reason. Every time without fail, if I deal with a solar plexus issue, a deficiency, an illusion, the sacral start acting up just right after it. Obviously, the physical sensations that you have dealing with these chakras, like for me, it feels like a little pressure. It feels like a tightness sometimes. You'll feel a tingling. My heart chakra is the one that I know I have one of the biggest issues with because it's so, sometimes I feel like it's so numb around here. So pay attention to that as well. Pay attention to some of the feelings that you get around these chakras. That'll let you know, okay, I need to pay attention here. This is a problem that's arising that I need to take care of. Okay, so it's looking like this video might be just a little quickie. Thank you for watching. If you watched through the end, please let me know. Thanks for taking the time to watch. If you've watched, I love you and I'll see you in the next video.